Marcus looks at me, and then Marcus is like, Calvin. I'm like, what's up? He's like, you think I'm your boyfriend? Yes. I had the Paula Abdul look, yes. So then that was definitely sign number 2. So then, you know, it goes back to what Nico was saying about the whole condom thing. So, you know, sometimes, and I'm sure a lot of us can relate to this, when you're in a relationship for a long time and you think that it's a monogamous relationship, 4 months goes by, you're like, oh, the condom can come off, what's the big deal? So, you know, we getting it in, you know, who lights is right, apartment's right, getting it in and everything, and the condom comes off. And I'm like, put the condom back on. He's like, nah. He's like, I love you, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, all right, whatever. We've been together for this much months. He's getting me clothes. He's taking me out to eat. What's the big deal? Boom. All right, after that happens, I start to hear from him less and less. In about 2 weeks, I start to get these symptoms. I start to get swollen glands, lymph nodes. I got one right behind my neck, right behind my neck, right under my chin, right on the side of my face, right behind my ear, and right on my pelvic line. And the one on my back and the one right under my chin, they were really swollen. So I let my beard grow in so nobody would recognize it, and I wore hoodies for like 2 weeks. And I'm like, okay, something's going on, Calvin, something's going on. By this time, we're on text message status. We're not even calling each other anymore. And y'all know when you go from calling to text message status, that's the end of the relationship. So, I'm in college right now. I'm in my freshman year of college. And I'm sitting in my sociology class, and I'm like, you know what, screw this shit. I get up, get in my car, run down to, for those of you guys who know Queens, you know the clinic on Jamaica. I run down to the clinic. Y'all know I'm seeing those faces. I don't put you out. So I go down there, and the counselor, she runs the rapid HIV test, and take the test. 20 minutes goes by, and then she calls me in, and she sits me down, and she says, "Sweetie, your test came back positive." And I'm like, oh. You know, I'm going back to Nico's story when Nico said when she first found out what her experience is. I guess this is where I can ask you guys. What do you guys think what my first thought was when I became HIV positive? I'm going to die? It wasn't. No, not kill Marcus. It wasn't kill Marcus. That came later. What happened? It wasn't about my mom. I'll tell you, the very first thing I thought of was, I got the shock down my spine, and then I said to myself, damn, who's gonna love me? That was the first thing I said to myself. And that's why I could relate, and I understand, and how we're also very different, how HIV is very transparent, because it's different for each person. But for me, it was about love. And let's go back to the signs. Me associating sex with love. Me associating a guy doing something nice for me as love. Someone paying me attention as love. People not asking questions, because as long as I had the A's and the B's, it was love. But the thing is, I was looking for love everywhere else when it needed to start with myself. You guys have to love yourself. We have to really, and I'm not talking about the conceitedness, oh, I look good, oh, I got my hands in. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about loving yourself for the flaws and all. I'm talking about loving yourself so much that if your partner says something you don't like or you don't agree with, you speak up for yourself because you're not afraid he or she's going to leave you, because you know that you're taking care of. That was the lesson that I learned. The second lesson, before I leave here, is, which I always encourage my audiences, to always speak up. Because one of the reasons why I do this, why I speak, is because for a year after I became positive, I didn't tell anyone. I kept it to myself. And I had a friend who was HIV positive, and none of us knew. And he committed suicide. And we didn't find out until after that he was HIV positive. And